Y'all like that beat?
Yeah, but that could be a tough situation. Well, when it happens in basketball, everybody's like, "Oh no."
I can jump on the I'm not
Well, last night.
What's up, and welcome to another edition of the Man Experience. I am Desmond Mosby, as always, one of the hosts of this wonderful show. And as always, I have my fellas with me. Fellas, go ahead and tell the people hi.
Hello.
Y'all can do a little better than that. Y'all seem like it's a terrible Sunday. Tell the people hi, fellas.
What's going on?
What is good?
I like that. That's a lot better. That's a whole lot better. Listen, welcome again to another edition of the Man Experience. This is episode, if I'm not mistaken, 3 of this season. And my brother Fisch. Wait, I'm wrong. Is that wrong? This might be 4. This is 4. This is episode 4 of this particular season.
Yep.
And my brother Fisch will be leading us in today's episode. Unlike last week or 2 weeks ago when I jumped on and we went right into the episode, I do got some current events that I want to speak on. I'm not going to talk long about them, but just some current events that I do want to highlight that have happened or at least are going on in the world today. Obviously, everybody recognizes that there is a partial solar eclipse coming tomorrow, and that has sparked a lot of conspiracy theories. From a lot of people, a lot of interesting conspiracy theories. So we'll see what happens. If I get my superpowers tomorrow, I want y'all to know that I'm not doing the show no more. I'm just gonna be flying around and doing what I can, just chilling.
What's that meme? It's like the lottery. Like if I get superpowers, I'm not gonna tell anybody, but there'll be signs.
There will definitely be signs of me having superpowers. But here it will actually be only 85% max coverage. So we'll still see a little sliver of the sun. And it won't be total darkness. The next one actually won't occur until August 23rd, 2044. In which case I will be 58 and won't care anymore, probably. So I look forward to tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to go outside with my children if they're here and take a peek at what the solar eclipse is going to bring us. Obviously, we also recognize that March Madness is ending. We have the women's final today at 3 p.m. as Iowa takes on USC. USC is currently undefeated, and Iowa is 34-4. So we'll see what takes place. We'll see who will be the national champions in the women's NCAA final. And then tomorrow the men will actually play. Is that UConn and Purdue who will play tomorrow night? I think it's 9:20 if I'm not mistaken. You know, college basketball always has odd tip-offs. But that will be at 9:20 tomorrow night, and we'll see who goes there. My Tar Heels didn't make it, unfortunately, and NC State didn't make it, but they did make it to the Final Four. My Tar Heels lost. But as a true UNC fan, just like a Dallas fan would say, you know, you always hear Dallas fans, they always say, well, at least we beat the Redskins. As a UNC fan, I always say, well, at least Duke didn't make it either.
Yep.
Good point.
That's my thing. 2 days after our last. Go ahead. You said go Seahawks.
I said that's me and the Seahawks.
Oh.
As long as they don't make it, I'm good. That call when he didn't run with Marshawn Lynch, greatest play ever.
Yeah.
Outside of Williams.
I still don't know how he decided. second and goal at the 1 yard line and you throw a
Hubris.
slant.
That's how he decided.
Yeah.
It says more about Pete Carroll than it said about that year's Seahawks team.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I had a interesting discussion with some fellas who discussed that. Was it the opportune thing for him to do to pass it on the goal line, or should he have run it? And there were people on both sides that were arguing both cases. So I don't know. What we do know is what ended up happening was they lost the game because they did pass it. So
they always say hindsight is 20/20, but you've got arguably one of the top 15 backs of all time, and you're on the 2 yard line, 1.5.
Yeah,
it was like 1.5.
And he had 100 yards already that game rushing the ball.
He is one of the most, if not the most prolific north-south runner in the game of all time. Like, what are you thinking?
That's their identity, though. That's the Seahawks. They want to run the ball. They're a run-first team. Yeah. So, and Marshawn had 100 yards at the time, I believe, at that spot of the game. So he was very effective. So even if you know it's coming, you still have to stop it. So I was shocked.
I think it's just classic Pete Carroll with his ego. I mean, we're way past it. How many Super Bowls have we had since then? So
we've had quite a few.
Sorry for derailing the conversation.
They haven't been the same, those Seahawks.
They haven't been. They haven't been. Well, 2 days actually after our last episode, which was our R&B episode, the Key Bridge actually collapsed in Baltimore, Maryland on March the 26th. And there are actually 3 workers who remain missing underwater at this time. And so I just want to certainly shout out that, acknowledge that. Obviously, I know Blake was messaging us as soon as it happened, saying that there were conspiracy theories surrounding the bridge as well. And you literally can watch the video and see what is transpiring in the video. And you also understand with the mechanics of how the bridge was built, there's nothing else other than a ship of that size running into a bridge that ended up collapsing. So go ahead. What were you about to say?
I was going to say not only that, but to maneuver the ship out of that port, the hours and years or whatever training that they have to go through to do that, you can tell it was a mechanical failure. Like, we've talked about it. Like, so. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just to add on to what you and Blake are saying.
Absolutely. I mean, you literally watch the video and see the power of the ship go out at least 3 times before it hit the bridge. But our thoughts and feelings and prayers or whatever are certainly with the families of those who had to kind of undergo this tragic situation. Next thing on mine. The next 2 y'all will enjoy. I promise you. I came up with some creative sayings that I wanted to highlight for 2 big things that are going on. One is in reference to Kendrick Lamar, Future, Drake, and J. Cole, and the other is in reference to P. Diddy. So here we go. Can Drake survive a Cole Future? Oh, that is so creative. Like, y'all got to give me my props on that. Y'all got to give me my props on that. Can Drake or Kendrick survive a cold few? Come on now.
Here's my question. How many of these did you have to run by Tanisha before she said that one works? And she was just happy for you to shut up.
Listen, I didn't run none by Tanisha, to be completely honest with you, because I feel like that's what she would have done, Nando. She would have just chimed in with, you know what, just do whatever it is you're gonna do and get out of my face, right? Like, so I came up with that one as I was tossing and turning in bed last night. And I certainly hope the audience enjoys my little put together there. Obviously, we have 3 members here at least that have been following this. Myself, Blake, and Nando that have been following this ongoing beef that is going on between Kendrick Lamar, Drake, J. Cole, and Future. Anybody have any thoughts?
Honestly, I think most people will will not really care about the Drake part of it.
That's me.
But I will say this. I don't know if y'all watched the RDC, their skit on it, RDC World. You know how they do everything. Jermaine, right? But he mentions how he's like, why that beat go so hard? And it does. and Kendrick's verse is pretty sick. Like, I don't know if y'all listened to the response from J. Cole yet off his mixtape that he dropped.
I haven't listened to the response. I read it somewhere, but I haven't listened to it. What do you think?
It's about what I expect from J. Cole in a diss, I guess. You know, to me personally, I don't feel like it's really his thing, right? Like on the levels that we've seen, like Eminem take it to, and other rappers, artists, yeah. It's about what I expected. To me it's silly, the whole beef, right? Like First Person Shooter, I thought was a good song. I don't really get I don't know if that's what sparked Kendrick to get mad, you know.
That was what the response was to. It seemed like, the whole forget the big three, it's just big me was to that, and so
Kung Fu Kenny started practicing, I guess, after that.
Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a Cole fan. I mean, I listen to Kendrick, but I'm definitely a J. Cole fan. And like he's the hottest thing to me right now. Like that's just my personal opinion. He brings me back to kind of him and Kendrick kind of early 90s hip hop, late 90s hip hop, where it was lyricism, right? Like it was all about pure lyrics. It seemed like. So I mean, hopefully the good thing I guess for this whole thing is that obviously nobody's going to go to the extremes like we've seen recently in some of these beefs where people are actually wanting to kill people over stuff like this. And so hopefully these two are so talented or at least respect each other enough that we don't get to that point. And my last one that y'all will enjoy, y'all are going to enjoy this one a lot. It's in reference to P. Diddy. I see you shaking your head, Nando.
It better not be the one that I'm thinking. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, diddle, diddle. Puff Daddy's in the middle of going to jail real soon. Suge Knight started laughing at the sign of this happening and said, any artists out there that want to be an artist, stay a star, and don't have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record dancing, come to Death Row.
That's pretty valid. That last quote, though, it is true.
That was always true.
It is valid. Well, can somebody fill Fish in? Because Fish said he hasn't been keeping up with what's going on with Diddy. Anybody want to fill Fish in?
I've just seen the raid. That's it. I don't know much on anything else.
It will be a whole nother video, I feel like.
I understand.
But long story short.
Give me the long story short.
Long story short, Diddy has been trashing the industry since probably before I was born, maybe a little bit after. In the early 90s, every artist that he's had has had issues, legal issues. He takes their money and uses their music against them. Am I wrong? Yeah, help me out.
No, you're right.
Now he has artists, and he is involved in a federal raid because of lawsuits that he has had involving sex trafficking, human trafficking.
He is two thieves with filthy mouths and
I couldn't hear I couldn't hear the rest of that.
Don't come back.
Say it again, Blake.
He is involved in sex trafficking, allegedly. Sorry, allegedly.
Right,
Allegedly.
Don't want us to get sued.
Yeah, in sex trafficking, human trafficking, based off an artist named Cassie that he had, and she sued him and his businesses, and it's gone from there. And the raid,
but she wasn't the only one, because there's another lady that came out and has accused him.
Yeah, she's a Jane Doe right now, so we don't know who she is.
And there's also rumors that he kind of forced himself on male artists, in order to, hey, I'll help your career, but you got to do X, Y, Z, or
So
um,
a lot of talk about the famous Diddy parties being kind of those places where he did things to people
And that brings
allegedly.
allegedly. We got to
that
make sure we're allegedly.
that brings in Cat Williams, who said that you have to say no to Diddy when he wants to party because of these alleged things that are.
And I did hear a while back that people that Diddy kind of saw this coming, so that's why he gave everybody their masters to try to be the good guy. I don't know if you remember, he did that a couple months ago.
Yeah, he did it with Mace.
Yeah.
Mace was like one of the biggest ones that, like, I guess he was trying to give his masters back to. But it's all interesting. It ain't all about the Benjamins no more, it seems.
One other thing that's interesting about that, just from what Nando just said, that he did know about this allegedly, but he around this time kind of did a rebranding. He went from the name Love. I think his name, he goes by Love now, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, nah, you're right.
It was like, and then he had this young baby girl and doing all these different things that would make him seem like, I guess, quote unquote, a good person, good guy, all that. And then this comes out. So
again, allegedly.
Allegedly. Maybe. Or his kid? Did his kids? Is it just him, or does his kids also?
They did have the two sons in handcuffs when they were raiding the house. Obviously, that was probably pure policy and procedure. That they had to do that. So
one of his sons was sued. This isn't alleged. One of his sons is being sued for the same SA.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
On a yacht with individual. This is not alleged.
So he's being sued.
The son.
Yeah.
But because of alleged.
No.
Yeah. We'll see how this all transpires. And obviously the other son, who happens to be Al B. Shore's son, I don't know if he's come out and said anything or even been found. I think he did post something on Twitter or Instagram concerning some of his music, but that's about as much as he's kind of said about the situation. So, well,
there was talks of when Usher lived with him for a little while, and then what's the kid from Canada, the pop kid, Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
When Bieber, he wasn't living with him, but he was with him for like a week or a weekend or something like that. And kind of an interview that he did, people were saying it was just weird verbiage that he used during the interview.
And so it ties all back to the Hollywood things that are going on. I mean, we just saw the whole Nickelodeon piece with Dan Snyder and some of the stuff that he's been doing or allegedly accused of. Go ahead, Blake.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There's a new episode that just came out with that today.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, I need to watch that. The Nickelodeon. Yeah.
I would imagine, and I told my sister this, I would imagine, obviously, that Nickelodeon wouldn't be the only one that had something like this. I expect in a couple of years to see the Disney version of this kind of same thing. Maybe. It's Hollywood.
Well, the only thing I would say to that is the person that left Nickelodeon right before this whole thing ushered in went to Disney. So they probably, their culture would come with them, obviously, right? So all that happened after this person left Nickelodeon. So if it was happening at Disney, it would have been happening before. I can't remember the name of the person, but they left, right? So it's certainly possible that it's happened at other networks.
I guess I say that to basically say that when children are involved, there's a vulnerability. That is taken care of, and we've seen it throughout time, it seems, because I can think about Emmanuel Lewis, I can think about Gary Coleman, I can think about Todd Bridges, Jamon, who was the girl that was on Different Strokes, and just hearing their stories even afterwards, and some of the things that they got involved into. I know the young lady from Different Strokes died. Todd Bridges ended up on drugs. That's not to say that any of that is because of that, but I mean, you can almost kind of put two and two together to say that there were some issues there. Jamal, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you look at statistically the number of child actors and how small that group of kids are versus how many of them end up with issues, it seems like there's a disparity, right? Like it definitely has an impact on them, and it doesn't always end well for them.
Absolutely.
You even saw it with Bieber when he kind of went through that little spell where he was getting in trouble for something every 2 days, it felt like, for a little while.
Yeah, that dude was off the chain. Yeah. Jamal, turn your TV down so I can take you off mute. Jamal. Jamon. Jamon.
Get on my mic.
No, because I had you on mute because you had your TV on, man. And it was loud.
Okay, there we go. Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah, we had to mute you, man. Come on. Come on. Come back. Come back to the show. All right. I'm going to turn it over to my brother Fish for today's topic of discussion. Fish, don't pick me first because I had to think about this. So here it is.
I think he's muted.
Yeah, Fish muted himself.
Sorry about that. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Since a quarter of the year done, just was wondering, what's one thing each of you guys want to try for the rest of the year? You know, it could be something that something new, something that you were doing that you had a lot of joy on, and you kind of want to bring it back into the routine, and then why? So, yep.
I'll go get mine out the way right now. All right, for me, mine is going to be very basic. By the end of the year, I want to learn how to swim. Y'all can laugh at me. I don't know if y'all know how, but I do not. That is something I would like to learn in my old age.
Old age?
I knew you were going to. I knew you were going to do that.
You the youngest one on the show.
As I've gotten older.
As I'm the oldest one on the show.
I phrase it like that. But no, seriously, that's something I've been wanting to do on my bucket list as an adult. I've been bojangling with it. But it is something I would like to know how to do.
Did you say bojangling?
I did. So, yeah, that's something I would like to do. Try and learn maybe some adult classes. And because my standpoint as far as pools and beaches and water, if I can stand in it, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty tall, so if the water is 5 feet below, I'm good. Anything 6 and above, I don't do that.
Understand.
So how far do you go out in the ocean when you go to the beach?
If my feet are solid in the sand, I'm good. But once we start to hot,
that could be pretty far though. In a lot of cases.
I'm good with the water being right about here.
Right. Like your sister Tanisha goes out to the point where they're almost flagging people to come back in.
Yeah, that's not
like it's cheap.
Yeah.
After I got carried out by the undertow, I don't do that anymore.
I don't do that.
But the crazy part about it is that even in some of that area, it's still pretty manageable as far as your feet go. The waves are crashing, but your feet are still kind of in an area where, you know, as a matter of fact, there's that dipping point that goes down low in most cases, and then it rises back up to flat land. So
sandbar.
Yeah. So
the sandbar.
So I want to know, have you seen that image on Facebook where it's like 1 to 5? Where are you at?
I'm at probably, what is it, number 2.
Got you.
Yeah, number
Probably
2.
3.
Well, if it makes you feel better, my last name is Fish, and I hate water, so I understand. I'm not the swimmer either. So, did you try? Did you have lessons as a kid too, or did you try for that? I hated them.
I didn't have lessons. I mean, my best friend had a pool, and I was good in his. It wasn't deep or anything like that, so I didn't have to learn how to tread water, which I can't do. So, you know, I can do little basic stuff like this underneath the water, but anything above, I can't.
Yeah.
I feel like some people have a natural buoyancy. Like Tanisha has a natural ability. Like she gets in the water, and she just looks like she just naturally is like
like Little Mermaid out there just floating.
Just floating. Like she just hey honey.
She ain't got a nag's head yet.
Huh?
She ain't got a nag's head then. She
ain't
gonna do this in nag's head.
She probably won't, but I mean, I still feel like she floats. She's a floater. Well, I like that answer, Blake.
I know it sounds basic, but it's something I would like to know how to do.
I don't think it's basic.
I don't think so.
This is something you want to try for the rest of the year, and why you want to try it. I mean, I think it's dope. Nanda, you was about to ask a question.
Oh, I was gonna say, has anybody ever been out on the water and just gotten tumbled over by a wave?
Yeah.
I had it happen maybe 3 or 4 years ago when I went to the beach for the first time. Because normally I used to be a pretty strong swimmer, and I was usually pretty like aware of the waves, and one just caught me off guard. I was all flipped over underwater. Everything.
I seen a little boy get almost taken under from one, and I grabbed his hand immediately. I still say that, I saved a little boy life, but that might not be what his parents thought.
Yeah.
Huh?
To him, you probably did.
It probably because he was gone, man. He was. And I reached out my hand and was like, "You better get up."
I'm trying to think, Jaman, where were you? I think where you went out on the boogie board and the wave just totaled you. Was that was Virginia Beach, right?
That's every year I go to the beach.
And that's any beach?
Yeah, that's any beach every year. I get all brave and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I can sneak out just one more inch. And then that one wave will come get me, and I'll try to ride it, and it'll hit me right in the middle of the boogie board, and then, as you said, Nando, it'll go me over and over again. But you'll never forget, if you ever get taken up by the undertow, you'll never forget that, because you can't really see the undertow. Next thing you know, you out there, way out there, over there where the boats are. You don't know how you get out there, and they say you can't swim back in. You have to swim parallel to it, or you go out farther and farther. That's how a lot of people drown, because they get hit by an undertow. I got hit by an undertow when I was 8, and the lifeguard had to come get me. But that right there, ever since then, I'm like you, Blake. I'll take my little boogie board out maybe about 50 yards, and I'll have my little time. Everybody look at me like, come on out. Because you don't play. I mean, it's fun, but you got to watch it. You don't play with all the ocean, because that's one thing. The ocean don't give.
Well, not just the water. I mean, not just the ocean. Water don't give at all.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because that could happen in a pool too. Like, you could drown in a pool. As a matter of fact, I remember being younger, and a good friend of mine lost her sister drowning in a pool. So I mean, it's. I always say that that for me is like one of the worst ways to die, drowning. And I think back, and I was having a conversation actually with Jonathan yesterday as it related to the gentlemen who were under the water after the bridge collapsed, and just the stories that I heard about it, how two of them were trapped in the car and the rubble had actually fallen over top of the car. And so it's not only knowing that you're possibly drowning, but there's no room for escape whatsoever at that point, and that terrifies the snot out of me. So
yeah, long story short, that incident made me stumble upon these videos to show you how to escape if your car goes into off the bridge or whatever, or in the water. Not that I would ever want that to happen, but at least it's good to know.
Can I tell y'all something about as it relates to that? So a couple of years ago, I looked at Blake and I said, Blake, I said, I do emergency planning with my family. And he was like, well, what do you mean about that? I was like, well, like I've gotten to a point where I've created an emergency plan for my family in the event that any type of emergency happens. We have communication. We know who's responsible for getting who. If there's a fire, we do fire drills out of the house. We've even done to the point of going out into the car to drive to the various points of exit that we would go in case of an emergency. And Blake hit me up and was like, why do you do that? and I was like, well, it's important for me. And I say that to basically say that it's good to see that my brother is taking in some emergency planning as it relates to maybe possibly a car falling in the ocean. Blake, to that point, I've purchased for both of our cars the little things that actually supposed to break your windows. Like it's a glass breaker and the seatbelt cutter. Yep. It's all one tool that I got in both cars. I got 4 of them in each car. Don't play with me. And I still don't feel prepared.
Oh, you are over prepared.
For anything.
You are over prepared.
All right, so who's next?
I go next.
I like your answer, Blake.
Mine's a little bit, it's kind of a two-part, or it's a two-way. So I've always been kind of a sleeper in, at least in my, up until my early 30s-ish. Obviously, with the child now, it's a little bit different where there is no sleeping in. I'm sure, yeah. I see you laughing, Desmond.
Is there such thing as sleep?
Yeah, so
you're sleeping in.
Working in broadcasting, your schedule always changed, and you were sometimes working the night shift, as Jamon would know. So, like, you know, your body would just kind of like you never really slept, or if you did sleep, it was you weren't on a something that was pretty stable. It was always changing. So now that I've gotten older, I've seen myself starting to kind of wake up earlier and earlier, but not to where I'd like to be. So my one thing I want to try is the rest of the year waking up around 7:30 ish. And the other thing that comes with that is exercising. I used to just go to the gym all the time, but then obviously with the child, it just, it stops. So my goal would be to exercise, get up early, exercise before work. I have been doing that the last week and a half. It's hard, especially since tomorrow I'll be traveling for work to go to Oregon for a military health conference that I'm going to be working. But between those two, we'll just kind of get a better routine. It's been it's been hard to get a routine as a father, but it's something I'd like to try the rest of the year. So like I said, always been a sleeper in 9, 10, sometimes 11 o'clock. Obviously, when we are in our 20s, we like to go out till 12, 1 o'clock. And now when you're hitting 40, 10 o'clock, it's just like, all right, I've had enough. So
Yeah, I was
10
gonna say
o'clock.
I'm lucky if I make it to 10:30, 11 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
sometimes.
I'm lucky if I make it past 9, 10.
I'm starting to get there, 11 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, I feel it now. I'm starting to, get tired.
That's what's so weird about a second shifter. 11 o'clock, I'm still good, but when 2 o'clock comes, I wind down.
Well, that's because your body has to come down off that high that you experience from working that second shift.
Well, has anyone ever been able to kind of work a shift and then just go right to bed? Like
Nah,
I don't know
not
how
me.
you. Yeah.
I can't do first shift. I tell you that.
Not me. I always had to find time to wind down doing something.
I did at first when I first moved from I was working 6 to 2, and then I moved to working 4 to midnight. And when I first switched for like the first 2 months, I would come home and go right to sleep after work. But after 2 months, like I would be up till 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yep. And then you sleep till like noon or whatever. It's like, and I had that same schedule when I was in Charlotte, and it's like you've already slept half the day away almost.
Yeah. So what can I get done at this point?
Yeah.
That's always my struggle. What can I get done? At this, but I will say I'm waking up around 6:45. It seems like on a consistent basis, even on weekends when I don't have anything to do. I feel like I'm waking up at 6:45. In some instances, it's even earlier than that. Sometimes I'm waking up at 3:30, 4:30, and just laying in the bed until it's time for me to get out.
It's early.
It's crazy.
I force myself to go back to sleep.
Yeah,
I can't do it, bro.
I just
like
sit,
I try.
Uh-huh.
I try and I just can't do it. I've probably messaged y'all on rare occasions at 5:30. Blake said 5 o'clock. Shoot, I probably messaged Blake at 3:45 in some cases. And my sleep pattern got all messed up, I would say about 4 years ago was when my sleep pattern got messed up. Maybe 4 to 6 years ago was when my sleep pattern got messed up. And I wake up now. I go to bed early. I wake up now at 3:45, sometimes 2 o'clock, and just sit there.
Yeah, I hear you.
Totally opposite of that.
I don't know how you do it. Yeah, I know you're kind of on that shift right now, Jamon, to where
I go to sleep the time a lot of people get up. I go to sleep at like 2, 3, and I'll wake up like at 11. And that's just my 8 hours right there. So I'm good.
But
then
you've always been kind of that.
But I've always been like that since I was out of school. I've always been a night owl, and just within that early afternoon to late night is where I like to calm down. And then I figured that I can still, even waking up at 11, still get a lot of stuff done. I mean, that's me and my mom. My mom doesn't wake up till like 10:30, and I'm like right behind her, and then we just do what we gotta do. And she's back in the bed by like 9:30 to 10. But then when I come in at 9:30, 10, I'm just either watching TV on the computer. Nothing I do. I look up, it's 1 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, let me go get my shower and go to bed at 1 o'clock.
11 o'clock too late for me. Like Fish said, I feel like half the day gone. So I'm just like.
Well, see, I'm not doing really anything, but still doing the thing. If I was still asleep between 8 and 11, I would just still be just watching TV or something.
Well, I guess that because it'll be different for each one of us, because like my mind is constantly going, so I'm always doing something. Whether it's planning for the show, whether it's planning for something else, whether it's doing schoolwork, I'm always having to do something. And so I try my best. And I've had conversations, I know with Blake about this. If my time management was on point, shoot, I'd be rich by now. Like, to be completely honest with you, if I took in consideration and valued my time even more than what I already do, like I would be putting in quality time towards the things that I need to get done, and ensuring that I'm setting myself up for success. I tell Blake all the time, look, man, do you know where I would probably be if, you know, I did better about my time management?
Yeah.
And I do a decent job at it, but still at the end of the day, I still feel like if I was doing a little more, like, shoot, some of these TikTokers and stuff that y'all know about right now, they wouldn't exist, because Desmond Mosley would have that game on lock. So I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Everybody's different too, because the you know, the people with kids here, you know, kids are different too. You know, if you got a family, you got kids, they'll get up about 5 or 6 and you're up then.
Yep.
Well, mine, it depends on the day, right? Because on the weekdays, obviously they get ready for school, but generally speaking, on the weekends, like Aaron sleeps a little later, Jackson sleeps a little later, and I'm up walking around the house. You know, yesterday I was in the house literally. I think I might have woke them up because I was drilling. I was taking the drill and drilling, and that made the noise to wake people up. So I mean,
That's me walking around banging trash cans. Oh, you left already? Right, Blake. Oh, I didn't know anybody else was awake.
Geechee.
But now, hey, now that you are,
right.
Here's a trash bag. Take this trash bag.
There's been times where I'm like, this weekend I'm gonna sleep in, and then the weekend will come and I'll be up 5, 6 in the morning. I'm like, well, let me just start doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then I gotta pick and choose like what I can do, right? Because I can't do it all because I wake them up.
That's me, bro. That's me. I'm like, this weekend is gonna be my relaxing weekend. I thought that was gonna be the case yesterday.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Like, so I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put off a bunch of stuff last weekend to relax. So this weekend I've been
paying for it, ain't you? That's how you see it.
Now I'm catching up. You know, we talked about.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
or no, go ahead. Go ahead, Fernando.
I was just gonna say we talked about it before. As being an adult, you got 2 currencies now: time and money.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it seems like time is way shorter than the money is.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Like I can pay the bills, but just give me some more time and in the day, and I'll be able to.
I read this thing. It was on Reddit. It was like money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy time to do things that make you happy.
Yep.
I figure that's the best way to put it. Sorry, Mike, I interrupted you.
No worries. I actually forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, that's mine, and working in TV for a long time has kind of changed and altered my sleep schedule. As like I said, I'll never forget the time that I think it was in 2009 or 10. What was it when the Appomattox shooting happened, Jamon? And like we had to work like god awful shifts, and I remember coming in like early for that, and so I never could get like a good sleeping schedule after that day. But
yeah, you don't have a good sleeping schedule when you're dealing with journalism.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So
yeah, I bet.
Anyway, who's next?
I'll go next. So mine's gonna be off the wall. Something I've done a handful of times. Never really enjoyed it, but people like my brother and my dad who do it quite often seem to love it, and it's fishing.
Oh,
I never would have expected. Yeah,
let's go, bro.
So, I've never really been into it, but it's now that I'm older, like it sounds really like serene and like just something I can do. And if I catch a fish, great. If I don't, I still have some quiet time, you know. And so I've been thinking about starting to get into that. And I see a lot of people on my Facebook posting about fishing here recently too. So I was like, maybe it's time to give it a try, a real try.
I don't think that's off the wall.
Fishing by yourself, fishing by yourself, or with other people.
Either way,
I'm going with them.
Out on a boat, on the lake, or what?
However I can do it.
Either way,
pool, lake, not a pool, but do any of y'all fish? You're right.
I would like to do deep sea fishing. I would like to try that.
Yeah,
deep sea fishing would be dope.
My brother's done that. One of his friends or his neighbor owns a boat, and they go out and deep sea fish.
I would like that. The only
My
fishing I've
brother
ever done is on the side of the, on the
on the bank.
lake or on the pier or something. I ain't never been out in
Yeah.
an actual boat and gone fishing before.
I've done that a couple times when I was way younger.
My brother is an avid fisher now. And he just tried fly fishing for the first time.
Yeah.
And he basically said that he wishes that he would have known about fly fishing earlier. Because he seems to love it. But I'm willing to go with you, bro. Like
I was gonna say we'll take the conversation offline. We'll set a date and let's just do it. See if we like it. We'll try fly fishing first.
No, I listen. I'm gonna tell you. I know already. I like it. I like it so
do
much.
it.
Yeah, I like it so much. That I've had conversations. Like I want to get my lifetime fishing license. Like that's how
serious you are.
Where I'm at. Because it is serene. We used to take trips. Jamon knows we used to take trips to fishing all the time. And if you ask my stepdad likes to tell this funny story about me when I was around like maybe 12, 13 years old. We went to the lake and I was just walking and there were a couple of gentlemen on the bank fishing. And I was just walking and just wanting to just go up to the pier and just dip something in the water to see what would happen. And I took a stick. I just found a stick on the ground, and there was a paper clip on the ground, and somebody had dropped some bait on the ground. And I took my shoelace off, and I tied the shoelace to the stick, took the paper clip, put the bait on it, and I went to the pier and just started doing like that. And a fish actually jumped. I wasn't quick enough to catch it. But my stepdad loves to tell that story because those gentlemen had been sitting there all day long and hadn't caught nothing. And they started talking so much trash to me because it was like the nature boy coming out here with a fish whisperer string and almost got a fish. And we've been sitting here all day long with all this expensive equipment. Yeah, man, I enjoy it. I want to take the fam. Me and Jonathan used to go, but we haven't went in a long time. So
yeah, I'm down. We'll set a date and do it.
We'll figure it out. I know.
Now, would that involve a boat too? With the fishing aspect, would you also kind of just off land there a little bit, or would you like to get on a boat as well and kind of just fish at like Smith Mountain Lake?
So for me, in my mind, it's just on the land.
Got it.
I've always been told never own your own boat, have friends that own the boat.
Yep.
So I'm going to keep that mindset with fishing too.
Yep.
I love how y'all are saying this is an outlandish one, or this might be off the wall, or this might be. I don't think that at all. Like
I haven't done it in a very long time, but I used to hunt too, and that's from being from San Francisco. I mean, fishing isn't weird, but hunting is definitely out of the normal wheelhouse, and I actually really enjoyed hunting. I shot at a deer. I missed, and I was with some good old country boys every time I've gone, and so they're like, whenever you do, you gotta skin and gut it yourself. Like that was their rule, and so
nice.
I don't know how I would have done since I never actually got one, but I will say I saw some wild turkeys, and they are ugly.
Oh yeah.
One of the ugliest things I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Anybody else here hunt? I've never hunted before. Anybody else here though?
I can't. It's just shooting innocent deer. That's something I can't deal with.
See, for me, I'm not going to shoot it and put it on a wall, right? Like for me, it's no different if I go to the grocery store and buy chicken.
Listen, if that deer looked back at you and said he looked delicious to eat,
right?
If the deer ain't innocent at that point,
he'd eat you.
Yeah, that deer ain't innocent at that point.
Nope.
Shoot. If that deer wanted to, if that deer could, he would be like, he looked tasty.
And if it's a buck, he'll run through you with those horns.
Oh, he's showing up will.
Yeah.
And won't think nothing twice of it. And then go and hop out in the middle of the street and look at a car like this.
Right. I think I would like to try, if I was a better shot, I would like to try bow hunting. I feel that's like really like sportsman-like, right? But to me, I know I'm not that great of a shot, and the animal would probably suffer more. So that I'll stick to the gun.
Did you ever like fire one of those arrow, like like in whatever grade school we had archery?
Yeah.
That is a lot of fun. Yeah, the target practice with
Dude,
that.
a real bow and arrow, that thing is hard to shoot.
Now,
Yeah, those.
That thing is real hard to shoot because you gotta. And it's I mean, I tried it once, and they say if you let go of it and it snaps back real fast, it could break your arm. So
now I gotta say this: I'm definitely going fishing with you, Nando. But if you do determine that you're going hunting, I want to go hunting with you too.
Okay.
I just don't hope I say something about the San Francisco 49ers that make you want to go.
Here you go. A funny thing since you brought that up. The first time I ever went hunting, right? So I never actually skated, but I dressed like a skater, a lot of baggy jeans, like, Vans and Chucks and stuff like that. And so the first time I was hanging out with them, they're like, hey, let's go hunting. I'm like, all right. And they're like, this is my neighbor's land. He lets us use it. And I'm trying to cross over like barbed wire and these like little streams and stuff with my baggy pants and Vans on. And they're all laughing at me. I'm like, you could have told me to wear something different.
Oh man, yeah. Let me know. I'm definitely for it, man. I'm definitely for it. Maybe, and it would be dope if we can get all 5 of us actually together to go one or the other. If nothing else,
we
fishing.
all go fishing.
Jamon is definitely not going. He just already said he's not shooting no animals.
I got nothing against anybody who feels that way.
No, I
can understand.
I mean, I don't like fishing as much as the other person might, but I mean, I think it's mighty relaxing. I mean, I'll bring my little fold-out chair and my little rod, and I'm chilling. I'm good.
And be on this phone all day long.
No, because I'm not gonna have signal wherever we go.
We up there chilling, relaxing. Jamal.
No, but I mean, I'm down for it. I'm definitely down for trying, doing fishing again because I was fishing. I ain't been fishing in like almost 5-6 years, but I'll try it again. I'll do it.
That's on our bucket list. We need to do that in paintball. Yeah. Bucket list.
We used to have a paintball place here.
We did. We did.
I see those pictures of those people coming out that paintball arena.
Yeah.
With bruises all on top. I'm like, at my age now, you bruise. It takes a little bit longer to heal.
I'm all for it.
Jamal, you next? Once.
One time.
And if I like it, I'll try it again. But after that, if I don't like it.
I was about to say that. I was about to say, don't say that. P. Diddy might be watching. Allegedly.
He said, take that.
Allegedly.
Wow.
Jamal, you next?
I'm trying to get over that. That's going to be hard to follow. Take that. That was good.
That was.
Oh, man.
I got you and Desmond next.
All right, I can go next. I don't know. It was hard for me because I was going to say I want to always try my love of being an EMT, but I've done that. And
I mean, you can bring it back, though.
You can still bring it back, though.
Yeah.
You can bring it back if you want to.
Yeah. Well,
the
it was
question
two of
wasn't
them.
what's one thing each of you wants to try for the rest of the year and why, and it can't be something that you've already done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tried EMT a few years ago, 7 years, and it was fun. It was a wake up. You would see stuff that you would never imagine. But see, I was already used to it because of being in journalism. You would get immune to looking at that stuff, but being an EMT, it would be like right in your face, and you would have to know that it'd be between you and somebody else that you would have to save a life, and it could be their life could be in your hands.
Yep.
So it was a wake up call, and I stopped doing it because doing that and the news was too much. I mean, I would leave work on Friday evening, go right to the volunteer crew hall, spend all my weekends there, and leave Sunday. I have to go back to work on Monday. And it was just too much because you would have to stay at the crew hall, have to spend the night there, and you would get woke. You talking about waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, and your mind would have to be right. You would have to be ready to go, and it was just overload for me. But if I could do it again, I would. Just knowing with the technological advances they have now with life saving and doing things like that, I would try that. But I would see me doing that. I could see me doing that again. But I also thought my honorable mention is I would like to learn how to ride a motorcycle.
Nice.
And get my motorcycle license, because I mean you see so many people doing that and riding on mountains, just being free. I'm just a chicken, because you are only thing between you and the road is air. And if you fall, then that's just you.
Bro, you was with the Blue Angels.
Huh?
You flew with the the Blue Angels.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't fly with them. I mean, I was there, but I was in a stunt plane. True.
Yeah, you flipped upside down. I think you could handle a motorcycle.
Yeah, but
they say your reaction time's got to be the same.
That's true. But
like there's a video of Jamal like.
And none of that was show. All that was pure terror for me. So I was.
Wait, were you holding the camera too?
Yeah. I had my little.
Imagine dropping it.
No, they gave me the GoPro, right?
Yeah, but he was legit gangster though with it. Like it was like, I mean, he was screaming, but not screaming like I would have been screaming. Because like my hands
be over for me. I'd be crying.
This lady was early 60s that I was with the pilot, and she was just like, are you ready to do some fun stuff? And I'm like, yeah. And she said, all right, hang on.
Jamal looked like it was like a King's Dominion roller coaster to him.
That's what it felt like, dog. That's what it felt like. But a lot of people say, riding Harley Davidsons and all that, just the rumble and things like that, just going, riding it fast and just being free. You can't beat a feeling like that. And I would always want to see what that felt like, because the only thing I've ridden even close to that would maybe be a 3-wheeler or a 4-wheeler, and that's not the same as a Harley or a motorcycle or anything like that.
So what I'm getting from this so far is we all going to the beach on our Harleys to fish, right?
There you go.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And if somebody drowned, I might be able to say I'm being EMT certified.
It won't be Blake though, because he's gonna learn to swim.
That's right.
That's right. And Fisch is gonna wake up early enough for us to do all that.
Yeah. So he'll make sure we all get up to go do this stuff.
Yep.
Hey, and somebody be on the shore going, take that.
Now we go leave the ditty to you.
Hey, Jamon, we'll be in a 3-piece suit to work out the deal.
Oh God,
that's a story. Y'all ever heard that story?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, that's gonna use our last bit of minutes up. So I'll tell y'all this.
We still got Desmond to go.
Yeah, mine's not big though. Mine is really a combination of things. Number one is to eat better for the remainder of the year, to eat healthier. I have, and I know I've shared this with you all a couple of times, I have high cholesterol levels that I got to get under control. And every year they basically tell me that if I don't, they're going to put me on medication. And so I want to get to a point where I'm eating better, not solely for just my health's sake, but obviously to be here for my kids, right? Like I don't Man, this is not to say that I'm going to die young, but I don't want to risk anything that could jeopardize that. I want to be able to be here for my kids as long as I can. So that's very important to me, to be able to start eating healthy for the rest of the year, and hopefully that leads into healthy eating habits for the remainder of my life, right? The second piece I would say kind of ties to something Fish said. He said something along the lines of being able to go to the gym. And I think for me, it's being able to get more active. Um, and so I want to be able to do things that are outside or actively engaging me. I feel like my mind is always actually actively engaged, but I don't necessarily do stuff for my body to take care of that. And maybe that ties in obviously also with the eating healthy, to kind of get physically active. I know I've shared with you all a couple of times that one of the things that I want to do is do fencing. Like I want to get involved in fencing. So fencing, boxing, and tennis are three things that I want to avidly do. And so hopefully by the end of this year, I'll be doing one of them. I recently just bought some tennis rackets. Hopefully me and my wife can go up to the center and start playing. The last two things really tie towards maybe things that may be career related. One of them is for the rest of the year, I want to start and finish a book, and actually get it published. That's something that I want to try to do. Nice. and have that done. And then the last thing is kind of tied to something that I know you all know that I'm passionate about. And to the point that I've had a conversation, at least with Nando, about this, in which he kind of challenged me to keep doing it. And that's maybe determining whether or not I'm going to run for public office. It's something that I've always wanted to do ever since I was a little boy, to maybe hopefully benefit society and do some good in society. I don't have to necessarily run for public office to do anything good in society, but I feel like that's where my calling is, maybe. And I know I had a conversation with Nando where I kind of said that I had given up on that, and he had a conversation with me when he was kind of like, yeah, no. So those are my four. Like those, it was pretty hard to pick between those four, because that's kind of where my life is right now, and the things that I'm considering: eating healthy, getting my life together in health wise, and getting my life together maybe even as far as careers look, or whatever the case may be. So those are mine. Like I said, again, nothing big, nothing major. As a matter of fact, at least two of them are making steps towards the writing and the running for political office. I just got to now find three, because I'm going to go play tennis. I know that for a fact. I'm doing tennis. But eating better, I've got to do. Yeah. So, and eating better also ties with drinking more water, I think. I know I've shared with you all before that that's not my thing. So drinking more water and just having a better diet for myself would be something that, I'm going to have to work at.
It ties. Or go ahead, Fernando.
Nope. I don't want anybody to forget. Have
you tried pickleball, Desmond?
I haven't tried pickleball yet, but I've seen it. But I know for a fact that tennis, boxing, and fencing are like the things that I'm like just totally, I gotta do it. Like I want to do it, and even to a certain extent, golf. Like I want to do golfing too.
I love playing golf. I'm awful.
So, I've been to Top Golf, and I love the Top Golf thing.
I want to
with y'all.
You said what?
I will play tennis with y'all.
Yeah, Blake's a tennis player. Blake went to college to play tennis. And if you didn't know, Tanisha, when she was younger, she wasn't a tennis player, but she actually went with her dad a lot, and they played tennis. Tanisha has a lot of stuff that y'all probably don't know, but she's a brown belt in karate. I mean, she's with all this stuff that she was doing. But yeah, tennis, golf, and golfing, not just to go to Top Golf. Like I want to go to I do Top Golf, but I want to go golfing. and go to an actual course and boom, knock it out and boom, boom.
For me, it's really serene to golf. It's very frustrating, because you're basically playing against yourself, and all the mistakes you make, it shows when you swing. But I love going by myself, like just walking, or riding 18 holes. I love it. I still have golf clubs, even though I haven't gone in probably 10 years. It's one of my favorite things to do. It can get expensive, but
absolutely.
It's a lot of fun.
I've never gone a full 18. I've done 9 before.
So those 4 things, those 4 pieces. Fish, you was about to say so. Both of y'all were about to say something. Fish and Nando. Fish, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, is it harder to eat healthier? I don't know, your kids are older than mine, but I want to get like Brooke loves Chick-fil-A, so I'll be like, all right, I'll get Chick-fil-A with you, and I'll get something that's unhealthy. Do you have the same problem? Say like, if Jonathan is like, hey, let's get McDonald's or something like that, and then you
ain't got to worry about Jonathan.
I'm just
Jonathan's my
or Aaron. Yeah.
Well, Aaron will eat anything, right? Like Aaron is I'll eat anything. I'll try it at least, even if I don't like it, I'll at least give it a try. Jonathan is so picky. Like Jonathan eats his 4 major food groups are chicken nuggets, mashed potatoes, and chicken. And I know I said chicken twice, but those are his 4 major food groups, and that's really all he eats. I will say this. Tanisha, as everyone knows, is a nurse. So when we first found out that my cholesterol levels were high, she had gotten to a point where she was like, we got to do something. You're not leaving me with these kids. Boom, boom, blah, 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 blah. And so she's like, we're going to get you started eating healthy. Boom, 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 blah, blah, blah. And then as we're leaving the hospital, she goes, you want Domino's pizza? And it's like, yeah, honey, I want Domino's pizza. So it can be problematic for me simply because like I was raised on fried foods and greasy foods and all that Southern comfort food that is typically bad for you. And I just haven't been able to escape it yet. Like I love my macaroni and cheese. I love my corn pudding. I love my starchy foods. I love those things that, I shouldn't. And again, it's probably not even that, my diet is necessarily the thing that's, making those levels high. It could be hereditary, right? And so these are all things that I need to consider, but I do know that my dieting is terrible. I don't drink enough water. I hardly drink water. Y'all all was at Blake's house, with the exception of Fish. Blake got freaking Powerades galore in his refrigerator, and I was pissed because there's no Pepsi in it. With my Pepsi, as a matter of fact, I think I went to 7-Eleven around the block from him.
I got it for you.
Oh, okay. He did get me a Pepsi. But the night that I came back to your house, I stopped at 7-Eleven and got a Pepsi too. So it's one of those things that I gotta be mindful of, and I really got to do better about.
So do you not like? My question was gonna be: do you not like the taste of water, or do you just forget and then you're like, let me just grab whatever I can, and it's a Pepsi?
Nah, it's the taste of water.
Have you tried like one of those filters?
Those things are nasty.
My dad.
Yeah, she like, yep.
My dad is over 80 and doesn't drink water. He's like you, Desmond. He will not drink water.
I got a filter pitcher, and that's pretty good.
Listen,
like I love the taste of water. I just forget sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm like, I need to drink something.
I've got to be literally in the mood for water. Like, and when I say that, it's got to be that, like, I just cut the grass, right? Like, I've been pushing the lawnmower in the heat, And the only thing that's going to really quench my thirst at that point is a cold bottle of water. Like I've got to be in the mood. And you can tell when something's off with me or whatever the case may be, because I'll drink water at that point.
Mm.
Like maybe I'm getting sick or whatever the case may be, and I'll start chugging water.
So there's no foods that you eat that you're like, man, I wish I had some ice cold water with this. Nothing. Because like me, if I eat Chinese food or eat cookies or cake, I know a lot of people like milk with that type, the cookies and cake, but I'm like, man, I wish I had some ice water.
See, I don't even drink milk with cookies and cake. Well, Oreos, maybe. Right. But generally speaking, I'm not even drinking milk like that. It's man, soda.
I can't drink milk straight up. I can't do that.
Oh yeah, I can't. I got that from my grandmother. She used to go to bed every night with a glass of milk. And I love milk, but I just gotta force myself not to drink because I'll drink a whole gallon in 2 days.
I gotta have something with it, like cookies or a cake or something. I just can't just put a glass
what he
of
just
milk
said.
Yeah, and Andrea is like, that's so gross that you just drink milk, just plain.
I can't do it. I agree
that too.
Yeah, I can't drink milk just plain by itself. But and I've gotten to a point now where I feel like even I've had this conversation with people where I'm like, everybody's lactose intolerant. Like that's what I like. That's my argument now. Everybody's lactose intolerant. We're drinking milk from another animal. Conspiracy theory.
Right. Speaking of lactose intolerant, my wife walked in. She's lactose intolerant. She probably mad that I'm telling everybody. But it doesn't stop her from eating any of it or drinking ice.
No, it doesn't. And I was telling somebody the other day, like for instance, Captain Crunch. I'll eat Captain Crunch, and for some reason, Captain Crunch with milk freaks my stomach up. Right? Like
specifically,
Captain Crunch. It's the only cereal that I eat, and when I eat it with milk, freaks my stomach up, and it gives me that lactose intolerant feeling. It's like, my stomach. So yeah. Sorry to those that might be listening to this tomorrow on Anchor or Spotify or whatever that you had to hear me as I did that.
Oh, one thing real quick. Andrea just reminded me when she got pregnant with Xavier, she didn't have any problems with lactose while she was pregnant with him. And then afterwards, it all came back. It was weird. Yeah.
That's very interesting. Conspiracy theory.
Right.
Well, I mean that's my fault. I think everybody had, some phenomenal things. I think what we need to do is, from this perspective, we need to encourage each other for the remainder of the year to do those things that we've set out to do. Hold each other accountable. Now, what I'm going to say is that as soon as any of you question me and what I'm eating, I might cuss you out. I love you.
Yeah, don't get saucy. Don't get saucy.
I love you. And it's just me being me, the Aquarius that I am, according to Blake. But it's
Desmond, are you eating well? Take your non-fishing ass out of my DMs.
Oh man.
So, any final thoughts? Any final ideas?
Yeah, I got one thing. Jamal said he was going to tell us the 3-piece suit story, and I'm
you want to hear
ready
that?
for it. Yeah,
go ahead, Jamal. 3-piece suit
Fish.
story.
Oh man.
Yeah, let's see your face, Fish, because this is all about fish. So I was it was me, Fish, and a couple of our friends. We went to the beach. Gosh, what was this? Almost 8 or 9 years ago.
2012.
Okay.
Damn, Fish remember the year.
yeah. He's like, I'll never forget this.
And we went to Virginia Beach. It was mid-August. Hottest time in the world, of course, to go to the beach. So we get there, and Mike is in everybody's in the t-shirt and shorts and things like that. And we put our stuff in the hotel room, and at that time, anywhere Mike go, he had to take a run. I mean, it would have to be like, either early in the middle of the morning, late at night. Mike would just run like for a mile and back just because that's what he did. So soon as we got to the beach, a lot of people were like, all right, let's just chill at the beach. Of course, Mike said, yeah, I'm going to take a run real quick. So, with me, other two, we like, all right, well, that's cool. You on vacation, do what you want to do. If you want to run, go for it. Mike said, okay. So Mike goes into his room. And we thinking he's gonna put on the headband and all that and stuff. Mike came out and what was it, Mike? It was long pants, a button-up suit shirt.
We were going out,
and
I had a white shirt on.
He had a white button-up shirt on. What was it? It was slacks too.
Nah, they were khaki shorts still.
Yeah, yeah, khaki shorts, white button-up shirt to go running, right?
In August.
In August, right? So we all looked at each other like
in the middle of the street yelling at cars.
So his excuse was, yeah, so I'll be ready to go to dinner right when I get back from running.
Wait,
so he was gonna dress in his dinner clothes to go running.
Wait, what?
Yes. He dressed in his dinner clothes to go running.
I ran like a good 4 miles too on the beach, and then
on the beach in the middle of August.
On the beach,
look, highest like 90. I'm gonna go running in that. So he gets back. This is the funny part. That's not the funny part. He gets back and opens the door, and he's drenched. Right. So the first thing he says, "I don't feel so good." That's the first thing out of his mouth. I don't feel so good.
Just ran
so we like, fool, sit down and get something to drink. And number one, get out them clothes and get something to drink. I don't know what forced him to go running in a. So ever since then, we I mean, it wasn't a 3-piece suit, but we said that he went in everything but what he was supposed to wear to go running in.
Yep. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not gonna lie.
Heat stroke immediately.
Did y'all make it to dinner?
Yeah, we went to George's that night.
Eventually, he had to cool himself down first, though.
Captain George's?
No, not Captain George's. George's. It's
George's Seafood.
It was the one
Did he
where.
Put that shirt back on?
Nah.
Which one was it?
Just so
George's. What the place we ate?
Yeah.
George's Seafood. It's across the street from across the street from the Holiday Inn.
Fish bringing the shirt out.
Yeah.
It was something. You should have seen him come back in that door. His hair was all matted down. His eyes was glazed back.
I was rolling,
and he was. I mean, he suffered the heat. Heat exhaustion out there. I won't say it was a heat stroke, but it was close to it.
Let me ask you this:
I don't feel good. So we know. Look, we knew immediately what it was. We were like, look, dude, take off them clothes, sit in front of the fan, and just chill out for a minute. And he drink some water.
Oh, anybody else with any final thoughts? Final sayings? Final anything? Well, in our next episode, Jamon will take over with a Back to the Future question, and it really relates to if you could go to it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jamon. If you could go to any point in history, what point would it be? Kind of.
Exactly.
Got you. I don't think there's been any time until now that's been good for my people, but okay. I wouldn't want to go.
We're going to figure that out.
We're going to figure that one out. But we look forward to seeing you again on the Man Experience. Same time, same place, 2 weeks from today, which is April 21st. Right? Next episode. Booyah. Yep. We'll see y'all then. And obviously, if I don't see you until that point, I wish you a safe and happy solar eclipse. Please don't go out thinking that P. Diddy is an alien that has now come to take over the world and is doing so by causing Drake and Kendrick Lamar to have a beef with each other and throwing in Gorilla and Ice Spice and then making Donald Trump president, because conspiracy theories, while some of them are true, some of them are certainly outrageous. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.